All right, so before I even did this video, I really thought about it well. I've spent the whole week just trying to digest and process this to see if it was just an initial emotional reaction that I felt about the new CUBITUS and all this stuff. And I've really thought about it well. And I thought, do I want to do this video? Because I don't necessarily want to be ambulance chasing. But the fact of the matter is, what has bothered me the most is not so much this ridiculous release from a brand that I, for one, have respected so much for so long. But more than anything, the real reason to be talking to you right now about this is the most idiotic interview of all times with the head of Patek Philippe, Thierry Stern, Thierry, whatever the hell his fucking name is. He is a moron. Stern went on a press release campaign interviewing many people, but I think the one that stood out the most and has been covered the most is the one that he did with a Swiss press company, Balance. And you know what? Let's discuss that. This is the exact article where I'm going to take the quotes from, okay? Because really, to me, it was like the most horrific interview of all time. Let's get started with this. So the first thing we're gonna go with is his historic comment where he was asked about what does he think about people and their criticism of the new design. And he says, and I quote, "The haters are mostly people who have never had a Patek and never will. So that doesn't bother me." Sir, I own Pateks and I've owned many, okay? And I think that the new design is shit. And number two, I think for somebody that is the president, the head honcho, the patron, okay, of this epic luxury brand shouldn't conduct himself like that. Like, to sit there, be so childish and be like, oh, well, you know, you guys are haters and you've never owned one and never going to own one. First of all, I think that's very arrogant, okay? This is what someone in his capacity should have said. He should have said, well, when we're trying to push forward a brand and make a statement, sometimes people will not agree with what we have done. But we feel that in the long term, people will understand and it would only further the brand. Something of that fucking nature. I think that is something that the president of a big company like that says. Not just, well, the guys that are hating on the new design are just haters because they never have one and never will. Like, what? Like, just by hearing that alone made me feel like, who is this freaking moron that's running this company? Number two, I could have gone the rest of my entire watch enthusiast career without seeing this man's stupid face. The whole time I've always seen the signature on the papers. Okay, Mr. Stern, Mr. Stern. In my head, I guess I'm thinking that Mr. Stern is like this epic Don, okay, of Swiss watchmaking. And then I see his stupid goddamn face. He looks like the guy from Family Guy. And then what comes out of his mouth looks like an episode from the Family Guy. It's unbelievable. I mean, when I saw that, I was kind of like, yo, this is like a really weird year with so much weird stuff happening. But let's move on. So here's my other favorite part. When he was asked about where does he get this inspiration, you know, for these designs and stuff like that, he says, internally, I don't go to clients with designs and ask them for their opinion. Fair enough. Never. I don't work with external designs either. We've done that, but it never worked. What a moron. Like, be a little bit more specific. Like, do you mean that you haven't done that after Gerald Genta created the most epic watch you guys have ever had? All right, maybe not say epic. The most famous watch you have ever had. You know, to say that you have never worked with outside designers and it never worked, sir, you just sound like an idiot. I'm on your side here. I want you guys to win. But when you say things like that, it just doesn't really connect with the average person. How much more snobbier can you look? Honestly, it kind of turns me off a little bit on the brand now that I see that Peter from Family Guy doesn't really know what he's doing. So next, when he's pressed in this interview and said that the CUBITUS looks like the twin of the Nautilus, okay, his response is, the CUBITUS is a brother of the Nautilus and the Aquanaut, but it's not a square Nautilus. It has its own identity. What are you saying? Like, yeah, you're damn right it has its own identity. Just like siblings, and one is ugly as f. Yeah, of course, it has its own identity. It has an ugly identity. Like, hello, do you not realize that it's a Nautilus missing like 3 angles? Let's get the Nautilus, let's remove 3 or 4 angles out of it, which now makes it square, and call it a day, sign off. My God, what a design. I'm so tired. I need a rest after designing this watch. It's moronic. The next part, I mean, this interview is just full of gems of quotes. Peter from the Family Guy says, I really have endless ideas. We recently had a meeting that resulted in 20 different models. Again, how arrogant can this be? Like, listen, buddy. Knowing that you have been the head of Patek Philippe from 2009, which is not yesterday, okay? This is not yesterday. Stop being so arrogant. You clearly have a good team around you that has helped guide you, because just hearing you speak only tells me that you are way too arrogant and you are trying to be like Francois, another idiot in the watch world that's just trying to be popular and trying to get attention from everybody. We don't need that. What we need is somebody that's serious about running this company and keeping an image. The fact that the owner, or the president will say, of Patek Philippe talks in such an arrogant, out of touch manner, for me, kind of turns me off a little bit on the brand right now. Not gonna lie. I have endless ideas. Like, who do you think you are? You think you're like F.P. Journe or Richard Mille? Like, you think that you are the main rock star designer? You're not. You are a guy that inherited the company, and you are clearly acting like it. You're acting like a rich little spoiled kid that just took over daddy's company and now wants to be like the main guy and wants to show that his worth. Buddy, your strength is in leading the brand, not being the face, clearly. Like, oh really, you have an endless amount of ideas. So let's just get the Nautilus, make it square, call it a day. I think it would have been better just not to say anything. Just come out and say that, you know, we hope that this new design inspires many new buyers, that we hope this can be a design that 20 years from now, after all the smoke has settled, could be a timeless classic. Instead, you come out and you act like a child. I'm not really into that too much. I think that honestly, it really cheapens the brand. Now, I know everybody's not gonna go out there and read that. Not everybody's gonna care, and I know that the watches are gonna sell the same, and what I'm saying is not gonna make a difference. I'm okay with that. I just gotta say that Peter from the Family Guy is running Patek right now. Look, at the end of the day, I'll summarize it real quick so we don't have to sit here and drag along with this. You like the CUBITUS, the Crapitus, fine, no problem. That's why there's so many different styles and so many different things, and I can sit there and say that it was very cheap of them to just rip the Nautilus off and make it square. That's fine. It's opinions. They're like assholes. Everybody has one. But to have the president of one of the leading Swiss luxury watch brands come out and act very unpresidential, you're supposed to be the president, for me, not a good sign. I don't like the way that feels. I don't like to know that a brand that I have liked so much for so long, I realize that the guy behind the wheel is an arrogant. All right, end of rant. Comment below what you think about Mr. Stern and his amazing interview and new watch. And if you like this video, like and share it. Also, subscribe right now.